All tonight we're going to have some fun. We're going to have some fun tonight. Okay, we're going to utilize our oracle cards, and for those who are not familiar with what oracle cards are, I can give you a brief explanation on that. But our topic tonight is partner with your highest self. You guys, excuse my handwriting, it's not good anyway. My handwriting is not good. I'm gonna just be honest. But I had to write this backwards for it to show up the right way for you guys. I had to write it right to left instead of left to right. I had to write it right to left for you to see it left to right. If it's still looking backwards to you, I've got some bad news for you. But you guys, we're going to have some fun tonight and have a good conversation. I'm not going to be on here long. We are, as I stated, going to use our oracle cards. We're going to do some teaching tonight. Our topic is how to partner with your highest self. If you have questions, ask a question. I'll be glad to pull a card for you. I'll be glad to do some empathic, some intuitive energy reading for you tonight. This is something I just want to start doing from time to time, just to interact with you guys, and just get a read on what Spirit is saying. As you guys know, there is so much going on, and it's so important for us to be in tune with our highest self, So really quickly about oracle cards. Oracle cards are a tool that you can use to ask questions of your highest self. Okay, oracle cards work based off of your own energy. Okay, they are giving you answers from your highest self, answers from your subconscious mind, which is all knowing, right? The things you already know, but sometimes you just don't have the words to even say it to yourself. And the first card just came out. I wasn't even intending to pull a card yet, but due to our habitual tendencies to self-sabotage, it can be difficult for us to allow an answer that really is there for us in our subconscious mind to come forward. It can be very difficult for us to allow the answers that are in our subconscious mind to come forward. So that is the purpose of using tools such as oracle cards in order to ask a question and just allow that answer to come forward. And when you get an answer with oracle cards, that is greetings, Dylan. Greetings, Dylan. Thanks for joining me. Hey, Diggy Mo from New York. Greetings. Please say hello as you come into the room. If anyone has questions, I am pulling cards for free. No, a lot of times these sessions are paid sessions, but if you want me to pull a card for you, ask a question, I'll pull a card for you. Okay? The first card that has come out of the deck is self-sabotage. And as I stated before, due to our tendency as humans to sabotage ourselves, it is best for us sometimes to pick up a tool such as a card to just allow Spirit to guide us toward the answers that we already know. Like, we know these answers, but we just need somebody to say it. And sometimes the person that's going to say it to you is you. These answers are coming from you when you pull cards. Okay, I love oracle cards because they're easy to interpret. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with tarot cards, but I like oracle cards. Okay, so hello to Okan. I hope I'm saying that right, from Turkey. Greetings, Grayson. Okay, our topic tonight is partner with your highest self. Partner with your highest self. How to partner with your highest self. Okay, many times we are wishing for a partner. This could be a life partner or a business partner. It could be a study buddy. Our topic is how to partner with your highest self. I see a question. Yes, I am a teacher. So we're doing some teaching tonight, but we're utilizing our oracle cards as a tool, as an aid to do some teaching tonight. If y'all have questions, you want me to pull a card for you, Please ask your questions, okay? Our topic is how to partner with your highest self, okay? So it's very, very important for us, especially in these times that we live in. The world is seemingly very chaotic, right? And we need to be in touch with our divine guidance. It's extremely important because everywhere you turn, there's an expert on something that's trying to guide you somewhere. And you may not know where, right? But you know that your highest self is here for your highest good. Okay, someone said, what do the cards do? The cards help you to tap into your subconscious mind, which has all of the answers. The cards help you to receive an answer from your highest self, which is right here within grasp, within weight, waiting to give you the cheat codes, right? Waiting to give you the answers to every test, right? To every challenge you're going to face. Snowball says, since I'm still in school, can I call you ma'am or miss? That is totally fine. I'm not offended by being called ma'am or miss. No worries. If you guys have questions, we're talking tonight about connecting with your highest self. And I thank you guys for all the positive comments in the chat. Good morning and greetings from Indonesia. Okay, so you guys, we're talking about connecting with your highest self. And the first card that came out of the deck already was self-sabotage. Okay, and most of us do have just, part of human nature. We have a tendency for self-sabotage. Okay, and we also have a tendency, this card that just came out it says pleasure, right? We have a tendency to want to deny ourselves pleasure. Okay, and this can be the pleasure of success. Okay, the pleasure of ease. And many of us do not believe that we deserve to enjoy the pleasure of ease, the pleasure of success. Okay, so we can find it quite difficult to reach out to our highest self, to our divine guidance, because we don't believe that we deserve the pleasure of the success or the ease of just reaching out to our highest self without having to go through some type of middleman in order to get an answer, or some type of middleman to reach our divine guidance. Human nature tells us, hey, you don't deserve pleasure. And many of us have also been indoctrinated through some sort of religious system that tells us that, hey, you do not deserve pleasure, or that you do not deserve, you are not worthy of being in direct contact with your own divine guidance. Isn't that something, right? So I want us to begin to allow those misconceptions, to allow those any false indoctrination, any discrediting voices that seek to separate you from the divine guidance of your highest self. Okay, if you guys have questions, you can ask the question. It's totally free. I'm not going to be putting up a Cash App or anything like that tonight, asking for any donations tonight. We're just pulling cards and we're talking about how to partner with your highest self. Partner with your highest self. I had a conversation with a client recently and with a friend recently where we were talking about, the desire for partnership. Right? And many, many times we are desirous of partnership outside of ourselves, right? We're looking for a partner, craving partnership, when in fact the best move for us would be to partner with our highest self. What do I mean by that? When you partner with your highest self, that means you are coming into alignment with your divine guidance. Okay, so many times we are trying to make a decision, we're trying to figure out our next move, and we may hear something within our consciousness telling us, go this direction, make this move. And it may seem to us to be coming out of nowhere. It may seem that it's too bold, right? And we may begin to feel some fear. What if I fail? What will people think? If this, because many times what our highest self is guiding us to do is contrary, right? It's contrary to what others would expect of you. Could be contrary to societal norms, right? It could be a very bold move, and we begin to feel a little fearful, right? But our highest self is saying, come, step into success, come into the light, come into boldness, right? Claim what is yours, claim your place in the world. And we are fearful of doing that, right? And the next card that's coming out is choice, free will, right? It says free will, courage, willpower, and change. Wow. Okay, of course, right? Is divine guidance meant to sound religious? Um, is it meant to sound religious? I don't think so. I don't think so. And it's just a matter of opinion, I guess. When I think of religion, I think of something that has a name, it has a structure behind it, and it's telling you, hey, here are the exact right ways, and that this one way and this one path is right for everybody. That's what I think of as a religion, right? There's a group behind it, and they're telling you there's these specific steps. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about the guidance within you, that voice that's coming from inside of you and guiding you to the right path. Okay. So that is what I mean when I'm talking about your divine guidance, your direct connection to source or God, whatever name you like to use, the creator, whatever term is comfortable for you. I don't want to alienate anyone. So I tend to use the term source. Okay. But our highest self is the version of us that exists in the quantum field that has already agreed to pass every test that you are facing, that you are currently facing, so that you can one day return home to source. Okay? Yes, so the inner voice that is telling you that what you're about to do is good or bad. Yes, that is a great example. Okay, the inner voice that is guiding you towards the things that you desire to manifest in life. Okay, that is your divine guidance. Okay, and most of us can recognize that there's something that we feel. Some people may describe it as hearing a voice or feeling, pulled in a certain direction. And it takes time to really learn to trust that voice, okay? Because everyone else, especially nowadays, everyone else seems like the expert, right? And if you hop on social media, you can find an expert on anything. And you'll find 100,000 people that agree with that expert, whether or not that is the right path for you, okay? So as we seek to begin to partner with our highest self, how do we do that? What do I mean when I say partner with your highest self? When I'm saying partner with your highest self, I'm saying begin to listen for and begin to trust and follow that guidance, that voice that you feel inside of you, urging you to go in a certain direction. Begin to take that voice seriously. Stop dismissing that voice. And that voice, that guidance, it could start off with something as simple as, don't take this route to work today, right? Don't go down this street. Don't take the route you normally take, right? Sometimes your divine guidance can be telling you something really simple, and it may look silly to other people. You may not have an example or reason. You may not have outside verification at that very moment as to why you shouldn't go that way, why you shouldn't, invite this person to be a deeper part of your life, or to come to your house, or to go to lunch, or whatever the case may be. You may not have outside verification. You may not have anything showing on your GPS saying, oh, there's a wreck if I go this route. I'm going to be delayed if I go that route. right? You may not have any outside verification saying, you know what, I think this person may not be good for me. Everything on the outside may look perfect, may look fine. There may not be any red flags, right? But your divine guidance is all knowing and is showing you that, hey, something's not right here, right? Perhaps you should listen to that voice, right? So the best way to begin to trust that voice is to just follow it, even when it does not seem logical. If it doesn't seem logical to you or to people around you, just begin trusting that voice on the smallest things. On the smallest things. It could be something so simple, but just begin to try it out. And I promise you that over time, you're going to begin to see that that voice is leading you in the right direction. And that when you follow that guidance, you begin to have delightful experiences. Experiences that take you outside of your comfort realm, right? Outside of your comfort zone, outside of what you would have normally experienced on a day-to-day basis. Okay? So let's give that a try in our day-to-day lives, partnering with our highest self. Because when you begin to trust that voice on starting with small things and moving to bigger and bigger things, what will start to happen is a snowball effect. A snowball effect where over time, you're going to trust that voice more and more. And you'll even start to get signs that give you verification and clarification, showing you that what you felt, that unction that you got was the right decision. You'll be surprised where the verifications come from. And this card just came off the top of the deck. I just pulled this card. It says solar plexus chakra. Okay. Your solar plexus chakra is located here in what we would consider our gut, right? It's in our abdomen. It's just above the navel in the abdomen. It's located above the navel, but below the sternum, right? That's where we feel those gut feelings. Like, when we say, oh, something in my gut just told me to do X, Y, Z, right? So that's why we're seeing the solar plexus card, okay? Your solar plexus chakra is the energy center that is located in your gut, okay? And that is where you physically feel it when you get a gut feeling about something, okay? So you guys, we're utilizing our oracle cards tonight as a tool. There's absolutely nothing wrong with using a tool such as oracle cards because it helps you to become familiar with the voice of your divine guidance, okay? And it's so important. It helps you to become more familiar with the presence of your divine guidance. It's a lot like the same way that you can feel the presence of a certain person feels familiar. Like if you think of someone you've known all your life, like maybe a parent or maybe a best friend that you've had for a long time, their presence feels unique compared to the presence of another person, right? So when you begin to use oracle cards, this is something you could do at home by yourself. If you purchase a deck of oracle cards, you just simply ask a question, you shuffle the deck really good, and when you feel like it's the right time to stop shuffling and pull a card, you just pick any card from the deck. Okay? For me, I tend to just feel that I don't know, I don't know how to describe, but I just get a feeling like, okay, this is the card that I should pull. The relationships card just came off the top of the deck. This is pertaining to relationship with your highest self. And that is our topic tonight. Forming a partnership with your highest self. And that's what I was just talking about when I pulled this card. That when you began to do things such as utilizing oracle cards and you spend time at home doing this on your own, you're spending time with, you're forming a relationship with your highest self. Okay. And you can ask really personal questions, really important questions. And when you shuffle that deck and you pull a card and you get the answer and you're like, oh my God, this is perfect, right? This is a perfect answer. This is very insightful for the question that I was asking of spirit. You begin to build that relationship with your highest self. Okay. So relationship, that is key. Okay. It says intimacy, freedom, acceptance, and trust is what it says on this card. Intimacy. All right. It is important to have an intimate connection with your own highest self, with your own divine guidance, right? You want to be in alignment with your divine guidance. Freedom, right? Freedom, it grants you a sense of freedom, right? Because you're not dependent upon some outside source for your guidance, another human to give you an answer and kind of interpret, hey, this is what God is saying. You don't need that. Once you have partnership, you have relationship with your highest self, and you're in alignment with your highest self. It's giving you freedom from dogma and from doctrines that may be telling you, hey, you need a mediator. There's got to be somebody else that you go to tell you what God is saying. But no, you can't trust your own inner guidance. Okay. Acceptance of the fact that this is something that you can do for yourself. Acceptance of your ability, your response ability, right, to guide your own life. To get in the driver's seat of your own life, right? Acceptance of your ability to reach your goals and to maximize your life, to self-actualize, right? And the last word is trust. We've already talked about that. Beginning to form a trust with your highest self, right? With your divine guidance. All right. So I'm going to continue shuffling here. If anyone in the chat has any questions, you can definitely ask a question and I can pull a card for you as well. No problems at all. I don't mind doing that. The way that I tend to do my readings, you guys, is when you ask a question, I will give you an intuitive answer. If anything comes to me, if anything comes up in my spirit, I'll give you an intuitive answer, as well as pulling a card for you. But you guys, this is super important in the times that we live in, that we begin to see our own divine guidance as a partner, okay? If you have a life partner or a business partner, if you have close friends, that's wonderful. But no one knows you like your highest self, right? It's part of learning to follow your gut instincts. This card says gut instincts, okay? And the number is 1, okay? Representing new beginnings, right? New beginnings. It also represents victory, okay? And greetings to the new people coming into the room. If you have a question, I'm pulling cards and I'll be glad to answer any question for you. This says intuition, knowing, sensing, and trust. Gut instincts, okay? Which goes perfectly along with our topic tonight, which is how to partner with your highest self, okay? We have to begin to start seeing our highest self as a partner. All right, you guys. And our next card actually is action. Action, okay? Now this is a reminder, you all, that a lot of times the reason what we're waiting on to take action is we're waiting on some kind of outside verification beyond what our highest self is already showing us, right? a lot of times we'll feel that we know the answer, but we kind of push it away or put it to the side, kind of make a note to self and go, well, I don't know. I'll see if that's true. We'll see if that turns out to be true. But it is true. It is true. But you'll miss out on an opportunity if you fail to take action based on what your highest self is already showing you. Okay. And the key words on this card say movement, perseverance, discipline, and motivation. Okay. Movement, perseverance, discipline, and motivation. Okay. And some of us don't find those things until we get outside verification. We trust outside verification over our own divine guidance, which is really crazy. Okay. But we've definitely been programmed to do so. Okay. It's super important that we begin to drop that programming. Okay. We can't always look to someone else to guide us. You know, think of a time in your life where you have had a gut feeling about something that you didn't act on, right? You had a gut feeling about something that you just did not take action on. And then you find out later that what you were thinking, what you heard inside of you was right, and that you missed out on an opportunity. Or that something, you did something that was against your gut instinct, right? And you did it anyway, even though your gut instinct was telling you not to do it, and things turn out badly. You end up regretting it, and you think, oh God, why didn't I? My gut was telling me XYZ. Why didn't I follow my gut instinct? When we do that, we feel foolish, don't we? We regret that. We regret when that happens. Excuse me 1 second, guys. My hands are getting dry, and it's difficult to pick up the cards when my hands are dry. They give me a little lotion, which smells amazing. But yeah, so we have to learn to partner with our highest self, and this also prevents this, or begins to pull you out of this epidemic of neediness, an epidemic of neediness and loneliness. Okay, an epidemic that we're experiencing in our society of not enoughness, feeling that we within ourselves are not enough, that we within ourselves are insignificant, right? And it's so easy to receive those messages from society around you that, you're nobody unless someone else says that you are, right? And this could be whether it's people are not having people around you cheering you on, not having people around you that are willing to vision your vision with you, not having a life partner, or not having friends that are really in your corner, not having family that's really in your corner. Society, our society, I know especially in the US, and I know people are sending greetings here from other countries as well. You can tell me if this is true in your country. But here, society is more segmented, and people are more individualized than ever before. More than ever before. There's a culture here that is very isolating, okay? And many people are suffering from loneliness and isolation and feeling less than and unworthy because of the lack of supportive people in their lives. If you happen to become isolated in this society, it's very easy to stay isolated. It's very easy to become and to stay isolated in the fast-paced society that we live in, right? It's very easy to do so. And then we have this new thing where people don't want you to call them, right? It's like calling someone is a capital offense. If you call without texting first, it's even yet another layer of isolation, right? More and more barriers are going up between people. more and more barriers are here to intense and meaningful, intimate connections between people, right? So people are highly craving partnership, feeling lonely, feeling needy, and the need to be able to partner with your highest self is higher than ever. The card I just pulled off the top of the deck is ancestral wisdom. Okay, not surprising at all. Why? Because I'm sitting here, I'm in the midst of a comparison of how isolated our society is versus how it used to be. It used to be that several generations of one family would live in a home, right? It used to be that people would band together in a community, right? And if your neighbor was sick, it was common for the neighbors to come together and provide meals for that neighbor's children, for that neighbor's husband, or to collect money for, to give the wife if the husband died. These things were beautiful things in our communities where we were coming together and supporting one another in ways that we just don't anymore. Everyone is so isolated and so individualized, okay? So ancestral wisdom, if we look to the ways of our ancestors, we would become more communal, and sometimes I really do think that could be what this economy is pushing us to, right? It's pushing us toward more communal living, right? Because a large segment of the U.S., of society in the U.S. is very, very isolated, very segmented, right? Very individualized, okay? And we would do well to tap into the ways of our ancestors in a lot of different areas, not just to solve the isolation crisis, but we really used to look out for one another and care for one another in ways that we just don't anymore, okay? So partnering with your highest self is one of the ways that you can break that feeling of being isolated and lonely. Because when you lean into the guidance of your highest self and begin to build this relationship with your highest self, you begin to have hope. It begins to give you hope. It begins to instill hope in you. Look at this picture. There's a woman with a bright light shining on her face, but there is also a candle, a light coming from within. A light coming from within. And the flame of that candle is resting near between the pineal gland, right? The third eye and the throat chakra. Okay, so the throat represents communication, and the pineal gland, the third eye, represents intuition. The highest, the intuition, your connection, your openness to messages from your highest self. Communication with your highest self. Okay, so you guys, thank y'all so much for joining me tonight for just a quick talk about partnering with your highest self. I hope you all begin to think over this, think over ways you can come into alignment with your highest self, right? Just beginning to act on what you're hearing. We don't have to continue pushing away that inner guidance that we're receiving. Okay, it's okay to act on things before you have outside verification. Okay, many times people that are successful and that are on the cutting edge and always seem to be ahead of the game are people who know how to trust their gut instincts, that know how to trust their divine guidance, and they're the first ones to adapt to new trends and to become successful, whether it's in business or to even just find their personal happiness in life when they do not have resistance to that voice that's coming up within them. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap it up, you guys. We've been on here a little bit over 30 minutes. It was my intention to be here for about 30 minutes. I thank you guys so much for joining me for a brief session and a good talk. This has been fun. How to partner with your highest self. My name is Pangia Northstar. And I thank you so much for joining me. I'm also on every Tuesday night live at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. The segment that I do called Attracting Love Energy, where we're talking about how to attract love of all kinds into your life, utilizing the laws of attraction, mastering your own magnetism, as I like to call it. And we're going to be doing more sessions just like this as well. More love energy readings. Okay. So thank you all so much for joining me. Have a wonderful night. Peace.